Yeah, hi Mario.
Hello.
Hey, Johnny.
Yeah, hello.
Hola. Sí, salió bien, Johnny.
Yeah,
Thank God.
thank God. Yeah.
Yeah, Johnny, how's the politics in Uruguay? I saw the guy from Colombia spoke at the UN like a crazy person.
Oh yeah.
The guy from Colombia, oh my God, he was ranting and raving about Israel.
He's
Or-
he's anti-Israel and all that.
Oh, but big time. Wow.
Yeah,
How
yeah.
about Uruguay? I mean, it seems like all South America is going.
No, Argentina is good.
Yeah, in Uruguay?
I don't know, Mario. He knows
No,
better.
no, they're not against.
Not against Israel?
No.
The Colombian guy, he's whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a freaking leftist.
But
You know,
big time.
And
He's against
Bolivia
everything.
also, and Venezuela.
Bolivia, yeah. What's going on?
in Brazil also.
Brazil.
Yeah.
How about Suriname?
Argentina is this Javier.
He's
whatever.
amazing.
He's amazing. He spoke also, and he spoke
Yes.
nice.
Yeah. But did you see how the country's turning around? He gets rid of all the crap.
You know what he did? I read
Yeah.
yesterday.
What's that?
He canceled the rent controls.
Right.
And there's a boom. You would
Yes.
think with the rents went through the roof, but now
Right.
there's 100,000 more apartments for rent. People were not renting them.
Exactly. Yeah, but tell that to Kamala.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy. The world is nuts.
Mario,
Yes.
congratulations. You're 11 years with Windstar.
Yes. How do you know?
Oh,
Look at this. Where was this news?
it's all over the newspaper.
Oh, I
Made
see.
headlines.
Wow. Okay, I'm gonna check it out. Mazel tov.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
Yeah, Mazel tov.
Thank you.
Okay, we're on Sadik Aleph 91. Ton Rabbanan Emi Stakrim Beret Yisrael B'Dvorm Sheish Ben Chai Nefesh. You're not allowed to be a middleman. It means most things were sold by private farmers direct to Balabatim. Some things you could be a businessman. You could buy goods, be the middleman, and sell it for a profit. But you're not allowed to do that with things that people live on. Kigon yeno shmani muslotos.
You mean staples?
Wine, oil, flour. because if the price of these, because if someone's going to do schoira with this, it's going to cause the prices to go up. He has to make a profit. There's a middleman. So, but these things should be sold directly by the producers to the people in the market.
So in essence, you have price control.
I don't know if you, I mean,
It's controlled by the
there
government.
was a
I don't
restriction.
think that's price control.
There was a
Let's
restriction
just
on
say
a whole.
it shouldn't be inflated, because if it's a staple,
Yeah,
people need to live on it, so they push up the price. You're allowed to make a profit. It doesn't say that you're not allowed, but it just says you're not allowed to just use it to push up the price. I don't think it's a price control.
I look at it as a business in a way.
Let's see the Rashba. You can't be a wholesaler that's going around to the different farmers loading up on wine, oil, and flour and you're going to sell it in the market. Rather, el balabayis atzmo yimkor litzrichin k'moshe yimkor lechendini. The balabayis should sell either directly to the grocery store or to people who need to buy directly from him.
Johnny, it's talking about a monopoly. It's not
Umiu-
talking about price controls.
Umiu liknois chitim velasois pas. Now, if you're a baker and you're going to buy wheat and then change it into bread, mutter. The kivin the ikatir chashori. There's extra work that goes in avalim kor adover be'ain. But I'm just going to buy flour and then resell the flour. The balabais can also sell without any problem. So you're not allowed to make profit on the backs of the people. It's going to cause them to pay more
So
money.
in essence, you're controlling what the market should pay for these goods. You know, another way to look at it.
You're trying to keep a stable price.
Yeah, exactly.
But it was done by regulating what kind of businesses people were allowed to be in.
Right. No, you can be it, but these are 4 staples that you're not allowed to buy from a wholesaler. You have to buy directly from the source. Only the source
Wholesaler
can
couldn't sell it.
Huh? Only the
Wholesalers were prohibited from buying and selling those
right.
three.
Only the source can sell it, basically.
Right. So it's not, wage price control it's rules put in by the government that you cannot pay more than $5 an hour.
Well, in a sense, the government is the tourist.
No, Johnny, this is monopoly. Johnny, this is monopoly. Monopoly laws. It's nothing to do with pricing. They didn't say how much each balabai. They just said each balabai who farms the stuff can sell the stuff, but he can't go sell it to a wholesaler who will monopolize the market.
Yeah, so but the whole idea is you're trying to keep a price, a stable.
Yes.
You're not telling them what.
Yeah, but that's the purpose was that the prices shouldn't go up.
Exactly.
But that's true. But you're not telling them what to sell it for. You're not telling them you have to sell milk for $2 or $1. You're not telling.
That's the question. How do they determine the price? Who determines
The market.
The market
will determine the price. Okay.
Adam Smith, the invisible hand.
It depends which neighborhood you live in. You live in Hancock Park, it'll cost you more. You live in Boyle Heights, it costs you less. That's the way it goes. You know how it is.
The invisible hand. Amar level Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah. Shai mishtaker b'yayin v'shemen. He, by the way, Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah was one of the wealthiest Jews ever. And it says he did business with wine and oil. How come? B'yayin sover law, ki Rabbi Yehuda ben Beseira. He held like Rabbi Yehuda. Rabbi Yehuda allowed you to take wine out of Eretz Yisrael because wine leads to sin. And we don't have to worry about prices of wine going up. We want the prices of wine to going up. We want it to be a disincentive for people to buy wine. So there, a monopoly was allowed, or not cornering the market by buying all the goods was allowed. B'shemen, Sheba Aser, Rabbi Elazar ben Azai, Shchiach Mishcha. Rabbi Elazar ben Azai lived where there was a ton of oil. So there was no, even if he gathered a lot of oil, it would not affect the price. There's so much oil where he lived. Okay. You can't make profit or business with eggs. Double. We don't know what that means. Amar Mary Bar Mari Pligi Ba Rav Shmuel. Chad Amar Al Chad Trey. You cannot the wholesaler, the guy who's buying eggs, cannot double the price. He can't, if he bought it for $1, he can't sell for $2. Chad Amar Tagra L'Tagra. You can't, one wholesaler can't sell to the other wholesaler. But a guy who's doing business with eggs, who bought it from the producer of the eggs, he can sell directly to people who need. Masriin al prakamatya, mafilu b'Shabbos. Let's say business is bad, and the price of schoira, then no one is making it's not. They're not getting a good enough price. You're allowed to daven even on Shabbos. Normally, you can't ask for your financial needs on Shabbos, but this is a tzorah for the public. Rav Yochanan, and what defines this? Kagon Kli Pishtan Bebavel. For example, there's a problem with flax in Babylonia. That was like the staple. Or Yain V'Shem in Eretz Yisrael. Wine and olive oil in Eretz Yisrael. It's like Italy. Israel was like other Mediterranean countries that rely on wine and olive oil. Rav Yosef. Let's say normally this choira, the price would be $10 forever, whatever the unit is. And now it's $6 for the unit. That kind of devaluation in the goods, you can already start davening, even on Shabbos. Ela became undo society besela. If prices are double, means if inflation is double than what it normally is, normally you could buy 4 saw for a seller. Now it's society besela, which is double the cost. So you can leave Eretz Yisrael to Chutz La'aretz. Amar Rav Shimon, people don't have money to buy. If you can find purchasers, even if it was 1 saw besela, not society besela, even more expensive, lo yetze, you're not allowed to go. Elimelech, who was the husband of Naomi, and Machlon v'Chilyon, his 2 sons, Gedoylei Hadorayu. They were important people, wealthy people in the generation. Uparnasei Hadorayu, and they were philanthropists. They provided jobs, business, employment, tzedakah. Umidnei manenshu, midnei sheyatzu l'chutz la'aretz, me'aretz l'chutz la'aretz. They left Eretz Yisrael. Shenemar, Vateyom koleir aliyem v'tomar nazos nami. When Rus and Naomi come back to Beit Lechem, the city is in an uproar. Is this Naomi? Why does it say Maya Zos Naomi? Amrav Yitzchak Amru. Chazisem Naomi Shiyatzis Ma'aretz L'chutz La'aretz Ma'asalo. Look at what happened to Naomi. She went out to Eretz Yisrael because there was a famine here, so they wanted to save themselves. Not only was she not saved, but she lost everything she had. The Amrav Yitzchak. Also, Yom Shabbos Rusa Moviel Eretz Yisrael. The day when Rus came to Beis Lechem, Mesa Ishto Shel Boaz. Boaz became a widower. His wife died. There's already, you can see the wheels turning. that the opportunity for Boaz to marry Ruth is already coming to play. Until the person dies, somebody's already appointed to be in charge of the house. Iftzan ze Boaz. We learned this in the Navi Kshir, in Sefer Shoftim. It never mentions Boaz in Shoftim. It mentions Iftzan. And here the Gemara is telling us Iftzan is Boaz. So my kamashmalon, ki idich Rabba Baravuna, dam Rabba Baravuna Marav, meya ve'esri mishtos asa bozavona. Iftzan, who was Boaz, made 120 wedding parties. Shnei vayilo shloshim bonim shlosh bonos. He had 30 sons, 30 daughters. Sholach hachutza. And he brought 30 wives. He married off his 30 daughters, l'chutz la'aretz, and he brought 30 women for his sons from chutz la'aretz. And Iftzan vayishpot Yisrael sheva shani. Uv'chol achas v'achas asa shnei mishtos. For his 60 children at their wedding, he made 2 parties. Echad b'beis aviv, one in the father of the mechutin, v'echad b'beis chamav, or the father of his wife, of the wives. Uv'kolon lo zimin es Manoach. He didn't invite Manoach, the father of Shimshon, to any of his weddings. Why? Because his wife, Manoach's wife, was barren. Omar could not carve my parily. This sterile mule, how is he going to pay me back and invite me back to his weddings? He has no children. So I don't have any purpose to invite him. He can't invite me back. So Tana v'kulon meisu b'chayav. All of these 60 children died in Iftzan's life. Haydu damri inshi b'chayecha deyaldet shisen shisen. Lamalech ichbil v'oilet chad mishrin zoris. You had 60 children, they all died. At least try to make something out of one. And Boaz did that, because out of his last child that he had with Ruth was David. Simin Melech Avram Eser Shonim Sheniftar Nisnase Levado. Amrav Chanan Bar Rav Amarav Elimelech V'Salmon, who was the father of Boaz, Uploini Almoini, the person in Megillas Ruth that Boaz said is ahead of me, because he was actually Elimelech's brother. The Avi Nomi, and the father of Nomi, Kulam b'nei Nachshon b'nei Aminadav. Hey, all 4 of those brothers, their father was Nachshon. So Elimelech married his niece. Nomi was Elimelech's niece. So my kamashmalon, why do I need all of this? Shafilu mishi yesh lo zchus avos. Somebody had big yichus, like Elimelech, who was descended from Nachshon. Eino imeres lo b'shash yotzim haaretz l'chutzarts. Good yichus doesn't help somebody who leaves Eretz Yisrael, goes to Chutz La'aretz. Amrav Chanan Barav Amarav. Imei Davrom, Am Teloi Bas Carnival. That was her name. Imei da Haman, Am Teloi Bas Urvasi. The Simonech Tomei Tomei. Haman is Tomei. His mother's was an orev, which is a raven, which is a tomei bird. A carnival is a kosher bird. Excuse me, it's a sheep, which is kosher. That's how you remember who the mother of Avram is, who's the mother of Haman. He made a David, Nitzvas bas Adoel, Shmo. Nitzvas. Ime shel Shimshon, Slelponis. Va'achte Nashon. And the sister, Shimshon's sister was Nashon. Why do we need this? L'tshuva saminim. Those who reject Torah Shabbal Peh, they always ask us about the names of these people because it's not written in the Torah. So we say it's a Masorah. We have a Masorah Bal Peh that these were their names. Amrav Chanan barav Amarav. Esher Shonim Nechbash Avram Avinu. Avram Avinu was in prison for 10 years because he broke all the idols. Sholosh Shonim Bekuta V'Sheva Bekardo. Rav Dimin Ardom Masni Ibcha. That he was in Kuta for 7 years and in Kadro for 3 years. Amrav Chizde Ibra Ze'ira de Kusa. The little bridge that was in Kusa, Ze Ur Kazdim. That was where Avram Avinu was thrown into the furnace. V'amru Oila la'olam sha'avan. Also Yom Shenifta Avram Avinu ha'olam. Amdu Kogdele Umas ha'olam b'shura. By Avram Avinu's funeral, the leaders of all the nations stood in line. V'amru Oila la'olam sha'avad manigo. Woe to the world that it's lost its leader. V'oila la'sfina sha'avad kabir nita. Woe is to the ship that lost its captain. V'amisnase l'chol rosh. Posuk in Divrei Yomi. Amrav Chanan barav Amrav afilu reish gargusa mishmei mukmilei. Even somebody who's in charge of a little irrigation patch, he gets his position from Shemayim. That means anybody who has any position of authority of any type, it comes from Shemayim. Amrav Chia Baravin Amrav Yoshua ben Korcha Chas v'Sholom Shafilu Matzu Subin Lo Yatsu. Don't say about Elimelech and his sons that they ran away. If they would have found anything to eat, they wouldn't have left. So there was a different reason why they were punished. Then they manenshu shahayalan levakesh rachim al dorim v'lo bikshu. They should have davened for the door, and they didn't. With your davening, you'll be able to save your group. That which we say is prohibited to leave Eretz Yisrael. Ella to Hamos Bezol. There is money, but Paris beyoiker. But objects are very expensive. That's aval most beyoiker. It's hard to make money. Even if items are very cheap, yoitzin, then you can leave to make a parnasa. Simin, selapoil charuva tayamirin. Rav Yechnan, niirin karavukami arbesoin. I remember when you could buy 4 bushels for a selah. Vavu nafishi nafichi kafan betferi midles iser. But there were people who had no money. So there was schoira. The schoira was cheap, but nobody had any money. I remember when the workers would not hire themselves out to the east part of the city because there was bread being baked there. And they would smell the bread, they would die. There was so much famine. A child would be eating a carob, and the carob was so full of honey, it would cover his arms. I remember when a raven would pick up a piece of meat, fly away, and the fat was so fatty that it would cover the walls of the city. Amrav Yochanan, Irna Kadav Metayli Talyav Metayis Beshuka. I remember when a girl and a boy in a market, Kibar Shisasrei, Kibar Shvasrei, 16 and 17, and we didn't have to worry that they would sin. They had good morals. Amrav Yochanan, Nirna Kadav Amin Be Midrasha. I remember when they would say in yeshiva, the Moidelo and Nafal B'Deim. Those that admit to the Goyim will fall into their hands. Those that rely on them, everything that you have will belong to them. Ksiv Machlon V'Chilya. That the names of the sons of Elimelech was Machlon V'Chilya. Uksiv, it says in Divrei Yomim, Yoash v'Saraf asher balu mimoav. So they married women from Moab. That's the same people. So what were their real names? Ravu Shmuel, Chadaber Machlon v'Chilyon Shma. Their real names were Machlon v'Chilyon. V'lama Nikra Shman Saraf Yoash. Yoash shenisyashum nageula. They gave up hope that they would be redeemed in Eretz Yisrael because they moved to Moab. Saraf. Because they left Eretz Yisrael, they were chayiv to be burned. Others say that their names were Yoresh and Saraf. Lama nikra shma Machlon v'Chilyon. Machlon she'asu gufan chulin. He made his body secular. V'Chilyon she'neschayvu kloy l'makom. He was deserved of being destroyed from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tanya deman the Omar Machlon v'Chilyon Shman. I'll bring you a beraisa that seems to indicate that their real names were Machlon v'Chilyon. The Tanya might exceed Vayokim v'Anshe Kuziva v'Yosh v'Srof asher bal l'Moav v'Yishbi lechem v'Advar matikim. Posuk in Divrei Yomi. Yoikim ze Yoshua. The Heikim is Hashvuel Anshe Giva. The people. They were Canaanim who ran away. They came dressed up as if they were coming from a different place. And they made Yoshua take a shvuah, not to kill them. And Yoshua lived with that shvuah, but they became the water carriers for the Beis HaMikdash. Anshe Kuziba means liars. Elu Anshe Giva. Shekizbu b'Yoshua. They tricked him. Yoash v'Saraf. Elu Machlon v'Chilyon. Lama nikra shman Yoash v'Saraf. Yoash shenisyashum nageula. Saraf shenischayvu sreifa. Asher bol l'Moav. Shenosel noash Moavia. They married Moabite women. Yoash ve'lechem zu rusa Moavia. Sheshava v'nibekas v'Beis Lechem Yehuda. She returned and lived in Beis Lechem in Yehuda. Ve'advar matikim, dvar malalu atik yumei amod. All these things were organized by Kodesh Baruch Hu. It was a gzeira. T'chsiv, motzasi David avdi. I found my servant David. Uksiv, by bnos lot, shtei bnosecha hanimtzaot. So matzah. So the antecedents of David HaMelech were found by Kodesh Baruch Hu. Then it says in Divrei Yomim, Heima hayotzrim v'yoshven etoim v'gidrem hamelech v'lachto yeshu sham. What's this? Heima hayotzrim elu bnei Yonadav ben Rachav shenatzru shvua saviem. This is Yonadav, the sons of Yonadav ben Rachav that kept the shvua of their father. This is a story in Yirmiyah. Yoshven etoim ze Shlomo. He grew like a big tree. Vigidrezu Sanhedrin. Shagadru Partzisem Shal Yisrael. They closed up the breaches in the fence that Klal Yisrael did. Im Amelech b'mlachto yeshvu sham. Zurusa Movia, Sheros b'Malchus Shlomo. She also was alive during the kingship of Shlomo, who was Ben Benoshel Ben Benah, the grandson of her grandson. Shneimar Vayasem Kise le'ema Melech. Shlomo Melech made a throne for the mother of the king. On Rav Lezer le'ima shel Shushelas Hamelech didn't mean his mother, meant Rus. Ton Rabbanan. Ve'achaltem min hatvua yashan below salmanton. My below salmanton. Whatever below ritzinasa. It's a blessing that your grain will not have worms. Rav Sheshes below shadifa won't have blight. Tani kavose Rav Sheshes. Tani kavos Rav Nachman. Tani kavos Rav Nachman. Ve'achaltem yashan yachol sheYisrael mitzapim l'chodesh b'nei yashan shekala. What the Bnei Yisrael are going to be waiting for the new grain because the old grain is gone. Talmud Loimer ad bo tvuasa ad shetova tvu meleh. They're not waiting for it. It as it grows, the bracha will be that there is no worms. Everything is going to come in its time. Tani kavosid Rav Sheshes. Ve'achaltem min hatvua yashan yachol Yisrael mitzapim l'chodesh b'nei yashan shara. What, they're waiting for the new grain because the old grain is bad? The new grain would grow without blight. By produce, whatever is aged is better than the other. But that's things that get better with age, like wine. But the form she'ain darken liyashin, like fruit, normally if you age fruit, they get worse. But here in Eretz Yisrael, we get better. Minayin. That Eretz Yisrael, one of the brachas of Eretz Yisrael, it'll watch its payros, that they won't go bad. And they'll get even better, which is not the nature of fruit. V'yashan mipnei chadash totziyu. Malamed, shayu oitzrus blein yashan. They had storehouses full of old grain, ugronos blein chadash, and silos full of new grain. Vayu Yisrael oimrim eich noitzi zeh mipnei zeh. Which should we use? Amrav Papa komili atikim alya. The older is better. Labar mitami v'shikra v'arsna, except for dates, beer, and herring. When they're fresh, they're better. So, little change. We're not going to have the Navi Shir Saturday night. We have to do it Sunday night at 8 o'clock, the regular time, because Slichus is earlier than it's 9:15 at Yavna. So we're gonna. Now I'm going to try to do the Daf Yomi Motzei Shabbos at 8:30 because I'm going to be in Teranea this Shabbos for a conference. Hopefully we'll be back by 8:30, and we can do the Daf for a half hour before Slichus. If not, we'll do it on Sunday.
By the way, Ernie.
Yes, sir.
It's first of all, Ernie didn't tell you there's a kumzitz, and Ernie will be talking
at 9:15.
9:15. There's a kumzitz and everything. We have a special choir coming and everything, and then at 10 o'clock there'll be slichas. So everybody's invited. There'll be a special slichas.
Right.
We need it this year. Okay.
Tomorrow at 6?
Okay, tomorrow it will be at 6.
Okay.
Correct.
Right.
Okay. Shkoyach, Ernie.
All right, everybody.
Square.
Yeah.